on every screen, making my presence something to be seen, yeah. I'll make them all see that I could be anything I wanna be. If you got a dream, then you need persistence and lots of belief, yeah. Yo, don't take that negative energy, I replace that. I just wanna be.
Hello everybody and welcome to Waylander Gaming. This is Waylander here with Lotus as we're bringing you the upper brackets finals. No, not upper brackets, lower brackets finals. It's going to be Soul Society up against Saint Dynasty. Are we ready with the coin toss? Do we have the lobby bands? Are we ready to go? Or we still need to do all of that?
Yes, we still do need to do all of that. I wanted the viewers to have all of the excitement from the very beginning. So we go with the rhyme, heads or tails. However, the coin toss did land on tails. So the side of Saint Dynasty gets to pick left or right.
Okay, I'm just going to get myself a glass of water and say welcome to the viewers. Just so you all know, this is a best of 5. So, you know, that's going to be a bit crazy. There's a lot of chances to make a comeback. These two teams have faced off in the African Cup, Conquest Cup already. A Soul Society moving through, but they were knocked down to the lower brackets by Madagascar. And whoever wins this game, whoever wins this particular match, is going on to the grand finals to face Madagascar. That'll be coming up on the weekend. So I hope you're all ready for that. And if you haven't already, press that like, share and subscribe buttons as we will get into the banning phase. And Lotus, to take us through that, I will be back with us shortly.
Okay. Now for the bans, ladies and gentlemen. First off, from the side of Saint Dynasty, we see a Fredrin and a Matilda band. And from the side of Soul Society, Joy and Kimmy is taken out of the equation. So definitely make sure to take out... Let's see, that meta jungle Joy, even though she was nerfed. Then Kimmy, who's gotten a buff, then a nerf, then an adjustment. However, she still stays quite formidable in both the mid lane and the gold lane. Let's see, Matilda, giving that high mobility to especially to her junglers. And then Fredrin, the more defense you give him, the more damage he gives. So these are actually pretty good bans coming out from both teams, in my opinion. What are your thoughts? If you have any, please do leave them in the comments. As we will be heading off into the first match of this evening after I type out all the bans. Kimmy. OHF. Okay, so going into the drafting phase and the first phase of it, I wonder what these hero teams will pick for bans and picks, because both teams have wide hero pools. However, we do see the Suyu banned out from the side of Soul Society. Quaz from Saint Dynasty, what do you think he will respond with? They might also be going for a meta ban, maybe a Hayabusa or a Lucas.
Chivalry is dead.
Going for the Clint. Well, Clint, I've recently started to play him, and also known as the one-shot king among a few players. It makes sense that he's banned in a sense, but personally, I wouldn't ban him in a 5-man. However, Tony K202 coming with a response ban, taking out the Lucas, so no unleashing the beast in this match. Kalea banned from the side of Saint Dynasty by Mimic. I think her ultimate is the Tidal Slam? Something like that. However, Astro does get the first pick in this drafting phase. Going for the Airthal. Now, Airthal does have that high mobility. Lola butting not waiting but picks up decisively that Florin. Tokolosi will probably go with a hero that combos well with the Florin. I don't know much about combos with a Florin in it, so I didn't know what to expect from him. Or Mimic picking up the Badang. So definitely a first crack coming in from the side of Saint Dynasty. They might be able to appropriate it well. Bright picking up his famous Lapu Lapu. And Lulama picking up the Sicilian. Now, Lulama, as we have seen in this tournament, she is a very good mid lane player. And I'm definitely expecting to see some great key plays from them this evening. As for Quaz is St. Dynasty's gold laner. If he goes with his famous Hereth, I'm definitely excited to watch his. And he does, going with the Purify. Conquer getting the second last ban of this game.
My mission is to protect lives.
Taking out the Hylos, which usually pairs well with the Sicilian, so that's a good choice. A jungler ban might come out from the side of Soul Society. I doubt, it will probably be a jungler ban. Otherwise, they might want to take out a meta mage. Taking out the Hayabusa. Tokolosi coming in with a response pick. So right now St. Dynasty just needs a jungler and a mid laner. Wanting to go for the Farsa. That would be fun to see her. Especially paired up with the Hereth. A lot of magic damage coming from the side of St. Dynasty. Tony K202 wanting to go for the Gato. Mikey Panic, who has a formidable Roger, and many other junglers. What would his pick be? So Tony K202 does decide on taking the Gato, but Mikey Panic going for that Roger. So we'll definitely be able to see several Lycan pounces from the side of Soul Society. Conqueror wanting to go for that Ling. Now Conqueror is a very good Assassin's player, so this ought to be fun. However, the problem is Saint Dynasty only has one frontliner, and that is the Badang. While Soul Society does have two, which is the Lapu Lapu and the Gato. However, Conqueror does take the Ling. So Tempest of Blades is definitely gonna come in clutch if he can play it well, especially against these tanky heroes from the side of Soul Society. But let's see how the teams play it out. It's definitely gonna be a game of wits, because as Waylander has mentioned before, it's around 70% of chance of victory does lie in your drafting pick. However, you can still outplay the team. Let's see. Soul Society does have setup potential, but also pick-off potential. While side of Saint Dynasty is a lot of damage, but there's no real CC chain setups to be used.
Alright, so into the game we go. It is gonna be Soul Society in the blue up against Saint Dynasty in the red. We've got both teams starting off on the same side of the jungle. We will see aggressive play up against passive play without too much of a front line from the side of it looks like there's a little bit of vision being given here by the Florin. Wave clear, definitely on the Farsa side. Just gonna wait for a poke onto Sicilian, take him down to half health, but he should be able to heal back up to something reasonable. Using that movement speed just to bait out maybe some skills. Astro making the rotation in here as Gato wants to interfere with Ling, as we would expect. It's a bit of an aggressive start from the side of Soul Society.
That is true. In your opinion, which composition do you favor from the teams?
It will come down a lot to discipline, right? When it comes to the full-on mix, there's the engagement here by the Ling onto the Gatto. Gatto is, even though he's still quite early, is quite tanky. Sicilian just trying to zone everyone away. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, there's a solo kill. Harith at the alternate side going in onto the Irithel. There's the Link trying to find the angle, the cooldown onto the wall, wants to try to get some dashes through. Oh, Tempest of Blade does come out, does land onto the Gatto there, onto the wall. Gatto with the vengeance, but Link gets the kill. And the heals coming through from Florin, absolutely clutch. Stuns almost onto the Astro Ray on that Irithel. Did pop the sprint just to get that little bit of extra movement speed. Roger took quite a bit of damage, but he gets scouted out. Ooh, tries to throw that first kill onto the Florin, but the stun coming through from Lola Bunny, managing to keep the Florin safe in time for this next objective. Gatto making a quick rotation here onto the Lapo. Lapo with the stuns onto Butag. He's gonna get taken down, so a kill on the board for Soul Society, and this is a good one because it's gonna give them advantage to take this Lord, but Roger is really low right now, so he's gonna be hoping that the team doesn't rush through just yet. Fasa repositioning, knowing the mid lane is a dangerous spot right now.
And right now, we also see Ling starting to engage on the turtle.
Oh, there's the feathered airstrike coming through there. Ling manages to land that retribution. Tempest of Blade into the Baton first crack. Very nicely done. Gatto still surviving, uses that Avatar of Guardian defensively. Roger opting not to contest with this buff, went to take his blue. Quick rotation here from the Irithel. Bat's Feast comes out from the Sicilian, flicker away from the Fasa. There's the engagement. Roger with the Lycan Pounce, wants to continue. Double Lycan Pounce, double kill going the way of the, actually one kill going to the Roger, one going to the Sicilian. But look at the camp here from the Harith. Gets that Zabun force out. He's dancing around, trying to engage onto either the Gatto or the Irithel. Ling into the backline. They manage to take down the Gatto. The chase is on. Ling going in with the Batang as the Batang comes across and manages with just one little first blast of his to get another kill on the board. So Soul Society, even though they have this late game composition, getting their way into a very strong push position very early on. 1.5k gold lead.
That is impressive from the team. And Harith is definitely making sure to get as much gold as he can from this golden shield in the gold lane.
Avatar of Guardian comes in from Tony K 202, but Fasa sensing the danger, using that Sharingan and getting back to the mid lane there, getting that pushed in. This is the power of a Fasa, that high mobility. Waves have been pushed in, waiting for the camp, but oh, there's Lurama going in, but Ling is there with a follow-up. Fasa gets the kill. Gatto with the taunt onto the Ling, but there's nobody there really to follow it up. Ling with a jungle invade. Roger coming across. Ling should be able to dash outside the wall. The retribution comes through. There's the Tempest of Blade, but it's only onto the Gatto. He pops the vengeance, stays safe. Feathered airstrike comes in from the Fasa, but not too much damage being done. It's going to be the Floral Bloom coming out from... Oh no, the Floral Bloom is still saved by the Floral, with an emote coming out there, as the second turtle of the game has spawned up. But I think Saint Dynasty will want to try to delay this a little bit so they can get some cooldowns on their skills. Ling will want to have that Tempest of Blade up for a proper contest, but being a bit brave here. Oh, Harith with the solo kill. As we see with the Gatto, he's going to force the reset, because without the Tempest of Blade, Ling's not going to have the opportunity to take that. Oh, there's the feathered airstrike coming through from Nofasa. They're going to get a bit of a stun. Gatto taunting up the Ling. They're engaging onto the Roger. Roger turns around. There's the Avatar of Guardian used defensively, but Roger, he's in a 2v1 situation. He just wants to hunt everybody down. Ling does take down the Sicilian in the mid lane. Meanwhile, the battle continues. Dapu and Badang making the rotation from the XP lane. Turtle going the way of Saint Dynasty. Ling just camping out, trying to get a bit of steal. There's Roger. Lycan pounced in. Manages to get a kill. Will he get another? It should be. Double kill going the way of Roger. So Roger getting quite fed. And a fed Roger is kind of scary. 4-0-1. Mikey Panic on the Roger.
That is true, and we did see that Ling sold the Roger's buff, a red buff, and immediately recalled. Florin taken down by the Roger.
Yeah, unstoppable. Tempest of Blades is up. We should see this. Oh, there's the movement speed and the... Oh my goodness, Roger with the Lycan pounce just in time, escaping with just a sliver and managing to get the kill onto the link. Meanwhile, Erythel, there's the Zabun Force coming out there. Harith gets the kill. They turn around the feathered airstrike enough to take down the Gatto. This gives St. Dynasty pole position to take this first mid lane turret down as the zoning is being done by Badang. There's the first crack. Oh my goodness, and they take down right on the Lapu mid lane turret and a kill. 11-8 in favor of St. Dynasty, pulling up a 2k gold lead.
And taking down that first mid turret also opened up jungle invades and made it a lot more easier for them. So Roger will definitely have to protect his buffs a lot more.
Here's Zabun Force comes out from the Harith. There's the Fossa zoning everybody with that feathered airstrike. Florin is in there throwing out the stuns. The first crack is there with the follow-up. Bat's Feast from Cecilia trying to zone away. But another turret has been taken down at Gatto. Just spawning up, being sent back to the ace base. Oh, but look at the Badang with the... went in with the second skill onto the turret. Nice use of the arrow. They want to engage onto the Sicilian. Do manage to engage on the Sicilian. Tempest of Blades being used by the Linger, but defensively gets the double kill. And this means pole position for the turtle. But Roger, he has other ideas. He wants to engage here onto this Badang. Oh, Lycan pounced in there. There's the Avatar of Guardian with a follow-up. Roger has to reposition. Oh, Harith dishing out the damage. Uses Zabun Force, but doesn't have any dashes left. Tried to get... oh my goodness, Cross with the outplay, but he's taken down there by the Harith, and this is a bloodbath. Link wants to go for a blue buff steal. Roger doesn't want to let that happen. Goes in. Oh my goodness, Ling with the dash and Conqueror Force figures as Roger. He wants to go in for the Ling. That may not have been the best idea. Shutdown. Tempest of Blade comes through. Feathered airstrike. Killing spree for the Ling. Throws out the retribution to get the kill. Nicely done from him. He doesn't really want to engage onto a Lapu though. He's going to try to heal back up. Has the blue buff to give him that little bit of extra heal as he takes the healing grab. First crack onto the Sicilian. Has to flicker back. Flicker coming in from the Badang as he gets back to safety. The turtle is being started off. Lapu trying to find the right angle to engage. The zoning this time being done by Harith. Throws out that Zabun Force. He's going into a 1v3 just to create the space for his team. Ling takes down the buff and the airstrike comes through. Ling whacked off full health. Goes in and gets the double. Erythel has to recall.
That was a beautiful play from the side of St. Dynasty, and they're definitely playing aggressively this game. They want to dominate this first game because it is going to be a best of 5. So they definitely want to make the first few matches quick and in their favor.
Oh, Ling with a monster kill on the top lane as we see the Roger and Gatto make their way towards the Ling. But Ling is not really a hero you can shut down in a hurry. You've got to have a lot of hard CC to deal with him. There is a certain degree of CC from the side of St. Dynasty. I mean, outside of Soul Society. I wouldn't call any of it really a hard CC. You gotta land those skills, skill-based CCs, I would say. Harith with the Zabun Force dancing around. Badang gets the kill back. First crack into the backline. Tempest of Blade comes out. The knockup is onto the Gatto. The waves are coming through. There's the Avatar of Guardian just slightly off the mark there. The Lord was taken down. The shields were up for the most part, but now we see 2 of the shields are being taken down here. I think the third one as well. We don't see that available. The 2 of the waves, or actually all 3 of the waves are moving in here. They are trying to get the defense going. There's the feathered airstrike once more, but nobody is going into follow up, respecting the damage that can come out from the Sicilian for the side of Soul Society. So this will be back to farming, back to resetting, and waiting for the next 80 seconds for the next Lord.
However, as we do see Badang, he just keeps poking the team and annoying them, so they don't get a chance to do anything else but to fight against it.
Yeah, Floral Bloom comes out from the floor, and there's the stun onto the Roger. He's up against the wall, manages the second skill back, but there's the Fossa with the double kill. And no wave in here though Harith was found a nice angle for that 7 force to get into the backline. Mid lane wave is pushing in. It's a 3v5 situation. Lapu into the Gato into the mix, but he's just getting CC'd up. It's only Lapu and Sicilian left alive. The heals comes out once more. The floral bloom from the Florin mid lane turret has been taken down here as Harith into the back gets the double kill. But Irithel is back into the mix. Florin is quite low, so we'll probably opt to tell the team, look guys, it's 30 seconds to the Lord or just under. Let's try to reposition. Harith goes in. There's going to be the Lycan Pounds coming in from the Raja, but the Zaban Force comes out as Harith uses that fast feet dancing. Oh my goodness, it's going to be Sicilian comes in. Sicilian pays the price. Ling into the backline, wants to get onto the Irithel, does get onto the Irithel, will be engaged upon by the Raja. Does fight continuing, the base is in there. The first crack comes in. Lapu tries to land the ultimate. Ling dodges with the fast fingers. Waves are being cleared here. It's a 2v4 situation. Once more, the second skill from the Padang, ceasing everybody up. I don't think this is enough minions for anything to happen, but the fight is just carrying on. This is a bloodbath around the Nexus right now. All the waves are pushing in here. Irithel a couple seconds away from respawning. Sicilian is back into the mix. Link goes in on the Lapu. Knows he has that Tempest of Blades. Gets the Sicilian. It's going to be a continuation of the fight. Lapu the only one left alive. The base being melted down. First game, first blood, go the way of Saint Dynasty.
That was well played to both teams. Soul Society did some good plays in the beginning, but then Saint Dynasty just came back with a slap and dominated the entire game.
Yeah, that's the power of the Florin with the heals. See, if you notice in the builds here, Soul Society don't have much anti-heal. It's just the Gato. It's just Gato with anti-heal. But change up against the Florin. I would have thought that would have been at least second item for almost everybody. You needed it because you could see that every time Saint Dynasty went in with that very aggressive play, the Florin was just popping that the heals and stuns at just the right time, keeping them alive. And as you saw, what an extended fight that was in the base itself. So you up against a healer, you gotta itemize, you gotta get that anti-heals up and running.
I suppose I probably underestimated the Florin.
The heals from a Florin are crazy because she can spam those heals. But anyway, as we get the teams ready for the next match, we will have a quick pause while everyone is ready, and the bans will be coming through. We'll announce all of that in a second, but we will be back with you shortly. Stay tuned.
They're going with the same bands from earlier.
Alright, so we're back with you once more. Into the draft, the lobby bands we go. It looks like it's the, as Lotus just said, it's the same bands as previously, which would be the Kimmy, the Joy, the Fred, and Matilda as the lobby bands coming through. So Fred, Matilda, Kimmy, Joy. Let's get into the actual drafting phase so that we can get into the match itself. This is the second game in a best of 5. So even if you do win the first 2 games, you gotta take it all the way to 3. Saint Dynasty storming performance in the first match. How will Soul Society respond? Let's get into the banning phases to find out.
So during the entire tournament, Soul Society has been having it not really easy, but they have been dominating several of the matches. So going against Saint Dynasty, I think they underestimated them a bit. So now they have to retry and then, okay, let's play better this time.
Yeah, Saint Dynasty is one of the OG squads in the server. They've been at the top, or within the top 3 to top 5 best teams in our server for quite a long period in time. So, they have the experience, they have the know-how, and well, it just comes down to how they're going to execute. The Soul Society, however, have had a massive resurgence. They've been around for a while as well, but slowly with the training sessions, the improvements of the players, they're starting to showcase themselves. And well, it's no mean feat to get all the way to the lower bracket finals. That's actually quite an achievement on their part. Well, and they'll be hoping to take it all the way to the grand finals to get their revenge on Madagascar, because Madagascar, they're already sitting there at the top. They're just waiting for the teams to come through. As Astro picks up the Lolita to counter the Changi, but Dang, always a good pick. Mimic looks like he's going to be going for the
shadows will I find lurking in your
Bernadetta, interestingly enough. And Lola Bunny flashing the Minnow. Haven't seen Minnow in a while.
Wanting to go for the Florin again.
Let's make the whole world green and lively.
Well, you did say once if it isn't broken, there's no need to fix it. So let's go with the Florin.
Yeah.
Bright's picking up his Granger. So Astra and Bright's Granger are formidable. I've seen them both play in the gold lane during this tournament, and they're very impressive with the marksman.
Granger is, I would say, the most difficult hero to play. The hardest part about Granger is just making sure you keep your stacks up and land the first skill. You're very, very strong in the early part of the game. But like most marksmen, has its strengths and weaknesses. But as you said, a lot comes down to the
Even when
players.
all is forlorn.
Lulama going for the Vexana. So we have been talking about Lulama for a while now, every time Soul Society played, and still one of the best mages I've seen in the southern server.
The Vexana does combine very nicely with Batang's first crack and the Numenon Blast coming through from the Lolita. Conqueror going for the Lancelot, interestingly enough. Lancelot I haven't seen much of, but sticking with the assassins, maybe try to escape the CC that will come through from the Batang, Vexana and Lolita.
However, the problem I have with Saint Dynasty's lineup is just the only frontliner, I don't see her as a frontliner, but the only frontliner is the Benedetta.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to be damage Bernadetta. We'll see from the emblem setup. Though I suppose they're going to try to be a bit patient. The alpha pick... I'm not too sure about the alpha pick. Maybe he just wants to try to melt through things. But alpha is generally used when you're up against a tankier lineup. That's the purpose of picking an alpha. It's there to... because of his true damage that procs from his passive. It's meant to deal with tanky lineups. And, well, Saints don't really have a tanky lineup, but, well, we get to see how effective this alpha will be into the mix. Just the real problem that I see for alpha is if you engage onto anybody, if you don't manage to burst them down, well, he does have the impure rage to try and get a bit of that burst that is required, but if you don't burst them down, you don't really have the escape ability. It's the reason why Alpha and Matilda are considered such an OP combination. Matilda provides Alpha with just the right amount of sustain, whereas and the escape ability counters a lot of the Alpha's weaknesses. But let's see how this pairs up with this very heavy CC combination. Oh, Lolita gets a bit of stun here onto the Florin, but Florin's gonna just heal back up. Vexana wants to go for a poke, does manage to land this. So this time round, Changi, well, we don't expect a Changi to outclear a Vexana. Vexana has one of the higher, faster wave clears, as we do see the 1-1 engaging onto the Granger there, but sensing that there's a little bit of danger, decides to reposition. Lolita in a nice angle here. It's Lancelot this time going for the rotation towards the XP lane, which is quite clever from Saint Dynasty, recognizing that they do have a disadvantage on that lane, but we're just focusing on the gold lane as Soul Society are going in for an engagement themselves. 1-1 gets a bit safe. There's a switch across here. First blood goes the way of Lancelot. So 1-1, sensing the danger, manages to stay safe underneath the turret. Oh, Vexana goes in. There's the second skill coming through. 1-1, she's getting hard focused under the turret. Doesn't have the crossbow tanks for the escape, so it's going to be a return kill from Soul Society here on the gold lane.
And right now, with Turtle up in 20 seconds, all the teams have to make sure to be there on time. However, we do see a fight in the mid lane.
Oh, Lancelot gets the double kill. Recall spams in the mid lane.
This is why everyone hates Lancelot.
Florin just healing the lance up. He's not the fastest at taking the turtle. Not gonna lie. There's some skills coming out. Oh, the second skill being baited out here by Astro. He has to dash back to a bit of safety. There's the Eclecto Blades from the Bernadetta into the backline. As Lance, he's dancing around. He's already on a mega kill. Going in for the Lolita. As Bernadetta gets the kill in there. The blue buff invade is on as well. Saint Dynasty 6-1. It's a 2k gold lead at this early part of the game. Oh, my goodness. You know, even with this amount of CC from the side of Soul Society, once you let a Lancelot start to snowball, it can turn out to be pretty crazy. Granger throwing out a Death Sonata. He's walking in. Oh, it's going to be 1-1. Trying to get the crossbow tank. The repositioning in from the Granger there. Does get a bit of poke onto a Quas on that 1-1. It's going to be the shooting stars coming out from Chang'e. No second skill available for the Lolita, so she doesn't manage to deflect it back. That is quite an annoying thing if you're a Chang'e. You just gotta be very, very patient with that. Oh, Newman on blast with the flicker onto the 1-1, but she second skills in out. Lolita tries to jump in with the dash, but has to get back out from there. Doesn't want to go in underneath the turret. But there's Lance. He senses the opportunity, gets the ultimate drop. Oh, throws out the second skill. But there we see the Chang'e throwing out that shooting star as well. Lancelot follows straight through the wave. He's back into the mix. Now he's going to get engaged upon 1-1. Trying to go in for the block as Badang. He's trying to first crack this Lancelot. Lancelot second skill somehow manages to stay alive. Alpha manages to get a pick-off kill there onto the Florin. But there we see the Bernadetta. She wants to go into the mix. Does have that Eclecto Blade. 1-1. Dancing underneath the turret. The Eclecto Blades does land with the Petrify. But 1-1. Overextended slightly under the turret is taken down as well. So that's a 1-for-1 trade-off. Meanwhile, Lancelot being patient, waiting for the blue buff steal once more. Do they sense that he's over here? Not quite. The focus is here onto the mid lane. There's the shooting stars coming through. Lancelot wants to engage onto this Vexana. He's got that second skill. Numenon Blast comes through. It's Lolita who has to pay the price for that. Nice sidestep there from Lulama on the Vexana.
Right now, even though Soul Society does have the CC setup heroes, the problem is Saint Dynasty just has that damage heroes to be able to pick them off one by one.
Beautiful first crack coming in from Tony K202, catching the Chang'e underneath the turret. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of pressure being placed because they have that Florin just to allow them to be aggressive. Oh, Spear of Alpha does land onto the 1-1. She second skills to try to reposition. Is healing back up here. Florin coming in, throwing a little bit of extra heal. Lancelot dancing through. Wants to get into the backline. Oh, throws out the full combination. Godlike for the Lancelot. He wants to try to find the right angle. Dashing in once more. Second skill this way. Continuing with the first skill. He's just dancing around. There's the Lance as he gets yet another kill. He's 8-0-3 in the 5.5 minutes. Mid lane turret being taken down. Oh, that's the thing with a Chang'e. Chang'e's just so good at wave pushing. Bernadetta scouting out the Badang rotation. He was trying to find the right angle to get that first crack in. He sensed that everybody was bunched up. Once more, Chang'e throwing out those shooting stars. She can kind of spam it.
Especially due to the magic boots and the enchanted talisman.
Oh, second skill comes out from the Lolita, just blocking back. There's the first crack coming in from the Badang. Manages to catch on to 2. Spear of Alpha, the follow. Newman on blast as well. But Bernadetta avoids the damage with the Eclecto Blades. Gets the double kill. Flicker from the Changi. Reposition. Re-engage. Oh my goodness. The fight changed direction with that.
So it's already 6 minutes into the game, and Saint Dynasty has already managed to take one of the golden shields of the top lane down for the 3rd tier turret. That's a new record, I think.
That's crazy. They went with that split play. The 3rd turtle is still 1 minute, just under a minute away.
Right now, Soul Society hasn't even been able to get any lanes out, so they definitely need to start repositioning and staying out of fights.
Yeah, that's
just to be able to push lanes with the can.
Oh, there's the first crack. Manages to catch on to 3. The follow-up is in there from the team. 1-1 managing to reposition. The same with the Bernadetta, but Florin is taken down here. It's still just about 15 seconds or so to this next turtle. The shooting
this
stars.
Changa with the shooting stars.
Yeah, I call it the shooting stars.
She just keeps spamming. She just keeps spamming the whole time, and she gets on most players' nerves more than a Nano does.
Oh my goodness, Floral Bloom comes out there, the continuation from the engagement. It's just Astro that's been taken down on that Lolita. The 3rd turtle is being left. I suppose they are going to be allowing it to turn into the first Lord of the game. They do want the waves to push down. There's Lancelot, legendary. 2nd skills the damage from the turtle. Spear of Alpha does manage to catch on to the Bernadetta, but he's not done. He manages to take down yet another. Wants to go in for the Alpha underneath the turret. No, it's going to be Florin who gets the kill. It's the Roma getting in onto the action right now. Lance waiting for those skills to be available. Does have it available. 2nd skills. Manages to do a bit of damage. 1-1 gets the kill. This should be a tier 3 turret being taken down. Shields have been crashed on all lanes. Well, actually, there's no third turret. Lancelot just engaging in there. Throws out that ultimate. Oh, but he's going to get CC'd up. There's the shutdown. Finally onto the Lancelot.
And also with the big bounty that was on his head, that probably does help the side of Soul Society get a bit of extra gold.
Oh my goodness, look at the Changi. She's into a nice position. Spear of Alpha doesn't manage to land, but Mikey Panic wants to chase down the Florin. Decides against it. Bernadetta with the wave push. It's a 2-for-1 exchange overall. The Lord is up here. Bernadetta, Mimic just trying to zone everybody away. The Flicker first crack comes in from the Badang. Flicker follow up from the Changi. She was trying to melt down this tier 3 turret. 1-1 has decided, you know what, it's time for us to start the Lord, potentially end the game and move into the 3rd.
So right now, past the 9.5 minute mark, it is 24-6 in the favor of Saint Dynasty. They also have a 10k gold lead, almost 11k gold lead.
1-1 being healed up by the Florin there. She did throw out that Floral Bloom. The Lord did go, well, as expected, uncontested to the side of Saint Dynasty. Soul Society, they're going to be all hands to the defense. They've got to save those stuns for Lancelot. He's just causing so much of a havoc into the backline. Goes in onto the Lolita, throws out the 2nd skill. The waves are pushing in here, mid and top lane. Lancelot trying to find the angle, wants to get to the Granger and Vexana, especially the Vexana. She is the major wave clearer for the side of Soul Society. Eclecto Blades being used a bit defensively there. Lance trying to get in onto the Granger. There's the first crack from the Badang. The follow-up is there. There's Eternal Guardian comes out. The Floral Bloom being promoted at just the right time. What a play from the Florin. Lancelot dives in, taking so much damage, but 2nd skill there up. Triple kill for him. Team-wide. Game set match goes the way of Saint Dynasty.
So right now in this best of 5, it is 2-0 in favor of Saint Dynasty. If Soul Society doesn't win this next match, then it's GG's for them and time to go home.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on this next game here. It's do or die, it's all to play for Soul Society. How are they gonna handle this pressure? Are they gonna be able to stand up and be counted? Or will Saint Dynasty take this in a clean sweep and move all the way to the grand finals? Let's get into the third match to find out.
Alright, now I'll just be inviting all the members. As it does seem that Saint Dynasty almost thought it was a best of 3 and not a best of 5. It does seem that they really wanted to finish early tonight. Saint Dynasty, just one more match. Just one. And then you can go sleep.
Alright, so they should be getting their players into the lobby.
So, what is your expectations of this third match, Waylander?
Well, the way things are going, it's going to be difficult for Soul Society to come back. It looks like Saint Dynasty have learned from the previous match that they played up against them, and they're just focusing on banning out what they love to play, and then forcing them into strategies and maybe into territories where they're not so familiar. I mean, which is a good strategy from the side of Saint Dynasty. So it's going to be difficult for Soul Society, but if you're a Soul Society fan, have faith. You know, anything. This is Mobile Legends. Anything can happen.
But I definitely hope that Soul Society just please ban Florin this time. If something is an issue, ban it.
Yeah, they're going for the Kimmy Joy ban once more.
Same with the Fredra and Matilda bans.
So, 3 games.
No variety for tonight's double bans.
3 games, 3 same bans. But into the game we shall go. Into the drafting phase. And, well, let's get to see what's happening. Is everyone ready now?
As we do, just wait.
No.
I'm just gonna kick this guy from the lobby so that he can wake up. So, as we can start with the third match of the game, we can see what will be happening for tonight, answering all of our questions. But seriously, I really do hope that Soul Society just learns to ban the Florin. However, into the third match we go.
Let's make the whole
Yes!
world green
Soul
and
Society,
lovely.
you have learned. Thank you. As Saint Dynasty
is
gets
dead.
to
And
respond
I
for the
was
Clint
alive.
ban.
Yeah, so finally they do manage to
Let's
ban
see
out
who's
that
been
Florin.
itching
They
for a
follow with the
real fight.
Khalil ban as well. Clint being banned out from Saint Dynasty, Conqueror with the second ban of the final ban of this first phase. So it's going to be what will he be going for?
Might be going for an assassin jungler ban.
I am
Taking out the
vengeance
Moskov.
incarnate.
We haven't been able to see a Moskov tonight, but they're just taking out a Moskov.
Yeah, well, it's probably something
Let's
to
see
do
what
with the
they plan.
strategy that they want to go in with. Moskov is extremely good at split pushing and very dangerous because of his overall skill set. But let's get to see.
Mikey Panic picking up the Lucas, so unleashing the beast. We finally get to see it for the first time tonight.
So Lucas in the jungle. I don't know. It's a bit of a flex pick. You can go jungle, you can go XP lane with the Lucas. But let's see whether Saint Dynasty think it's going to be an XP laner or a jungle Lucas.
Got a good taste.
Experience the euphony of suffering.
Do you think Lucas is better on the XP or on the jungle? Because they're a flex pick, but sometimes they work better on one role.
Right now, me personally, I prefer Lucas on the XP lane, but that's a personal thing. He does do okay in the jungle. It's just his jungle clear speed is not the best compared to other junglers, which is why you don't really see him in the pro scene being played in the jungle. Maybe once or twice, but it's not like a staple of the jungle on the pro scene. But anyway, oh, look at that from Soul Society picking up the Selena. Selena is a hero that has massive potential if you know how to play it right.
Butterfly is born by thy wish.
However, the problem is if she just misses a few of her skills, she's easily taken down.
Yeah, but that's not the purpose of a Selena. You see, when people play heroes, most people just think, oh, the hero is just meant to kill. There's many different objectives in the course of the game. What makes Selena so deadly is something that she doesn't even use. It's not one of her major skills, shall I say. It's the traps that she places around the map that gives vision. It makes it very difficult for you to gank, makes it very difficult for you to rotate. It causes a bunch of chaos.
True love is like blood.
That is true, and we do get to see her on the jungle side along with the Carmilla. I'm happy to finally be able to see Carmilla in the 5-man scene.
Yeah, so Carmilla is being...
Eudora.
Yeah, so Carmilla is being used as the hard counter to Chip. So when Chip ulties and the rest of the team comes through those portals, Carmilla just has to be patient, throw out the cursed blood, and then just kind of CCs everybody up. So she is a counter to Chip. Mimic might be going for a Fanny on the XP lane. Or looks like it might be the Benedetta once again. Eudora is there to try to, I don't know, maybe deal with the Selena once she dashes in. Eudora is an assassin killer. Not something we get to see much in the 5-man scene, or ever on the 5-man scene, but let's see how this plays out.
I didn't cure the pain. I harness it.
However, the Eudora would be useful against the Granger, the Cyclops, and the Selena, so it could work.
So full magic damage for the side of Saint Dynasty, almost full magic damage, minus the Granger. That's a lot of magic damage in there. We would expect the side of Soul Society to start picking up those Radiant Armors and Athena Shields very, very early. If they do so and opt out from going in for the damage pulls and just go in for that sustain, that could prove to be very problematic for the side of Saint Dynasty and potentially take us into the 4th game.
So, also based on the last 2 games from the side of Saint Dynasty, even though their heroes were relatively late game, they still played extremely aggressively, and when a late game hero sometimes plays aggressively, with the amount of damage they give, people don't always know what to do, as we saw from Soul Society. So if they play aggressively again, will Soul Society be able to handle it this time, is the question.
Well, this time round, they don't have that sustainability provided by the Florin Granger. Makes the rotation. Not even going to his lane, moving into the mid lane here, throwing out some skills. What is this? Granger on roam.
I think so, because we see Valentina in the gold lane.
Yeah, oh, I see. They just went for a bit of a lane swap there, interestingly enough. Oh, there's going to be the Cyclops engaging in onto that Eudora. Cyclops does do quite a bit of damage, but his real problem is he has to get really close into you. Chip just seizing up. as Camilla is zoning away. Hayabusa is the real problem here if you were the side of Saint Dynasty, because how are you going to control him getting into the backline with so many squishies? Selena, once more, just trying to farm up here. Not the quickest farm. Oh, it throws out the Abyssal Arrow. Granger's like, I don't need your arrow. I'm just going to send the Irotel back to the base. Stun onto the Sealer, she throws out her skills. They're engaging in onto the chip. There's so much of follow-up. The trap is in there. As Granger gets another kill, Hayabusa has to second skill to safety. The full 4-man. Oh, Abyssal Arrow, just slightly off the mark. Granger, nice connection with the skills there. Chip, he was taken down. Uses that second skill of his to come back up. The shadow kill is out. Somehow Selena manages to escape, but oh, there's the Hayabusa saying, not today. As Hayabusa gets a kill, and it's going to be this Camilla taken down as well. Astro picking up a kill. So it's a 2-for-2, 2-for-0 exchange, 2-for-2 overall. Flicker from the Chokulashi on the Cyclops. Wanted to get a bit of poke damage or burst damage onto the Aerodel. There's a dive onto the turret. Killing spree for the Granger. He's going to have to reposition because there's the killer coming through. Oh my goodness, there's the Flicker. Nice first skill coming out from, nice ultimate coming out from Chokulashi on that Cyclops. As they take down the Eudora, she thought she saw red, but it was just, not enough damage. At that moment in time, beautiful outplays coming through as Selena, she's trying to take down the turtle. Nice fast fingers, manages to secure the objective. There's the Lucas, the stolen Lucas unleash the beast by the Valentina, engaging onto the chip here. There's the follow-up. So much of magic damage. The unleash the beast stolen. It's being blasted out there, but somehow Bright manages to dodge away with those second skills. But there's Eudora, throws out the ultimate first. Interesting. It's usually a different combination, but the Abyssal Arrow does land on the mark this time round, and it's a 1-for-1 trade of mage for mage.
Right now I'm loving the plays coming from Mimic because she just keeps rotating to the lanes and manages to steal the necessary ults and to help the team on time.
Yeah, so Mimic is a very, very good player. Very quick rotations, using that Valentina quite nicely. We have seen on the pro scene they do use Valentina occasionally in the XP lane. Not the most common, but it does deal very nicely with that the Lucas. Oh, there's a follow-up. It's going to be the Cursed Blood in here as Granger, he's throwing out those Jet Sonatas left, right and center. It's a 3-for-1 exchange. Make that 3-for-2. Lucas made the rotation. Oh my goodness, it's a 4-for-3 exchange. Make that. Oh, I thought Irotel was dead. I thought she had the damage on the Cyclops. I thought it was going to be a 3-for-4 exchange, but Irotel manages to get back to safety. But Cyclops should get a bit of turret gold here, but has to get back out of harm's way. Throws out the Flicker, trying to zone away. Lulama on the Eudora. Flicker's back in there, hits the full combination, doesn't have the damage. There's going to be the Cyclops throws the ultimate. Will we see the Camilla with the stun in there? Valentina with the rotation dashes in and out underneath the turret, gets the kill. Meanwhile, the engagement onto the Granger in the mid. Somehow he survives the shadow kill. There's a continuation of the fight here. Astro with that mobility manages to stay safe. Lola buddy. Oh, she throws out the Curse Blood. Oh my goodness. I got the kill onto Astro. He was like, yes, there's my moment. And then the Curse Blood just lands, as it ticked down and hit the Aerotel. I took her out of the equation.
So right now, just past 5 minutes into the game, it is 12-6 in the favor of Saint Dynasty, and they also have a 1.5k gold lead.
Luckily a shutdown kill. There's Lucas with the rotation. He's in the beast form. Chip does pop the ultimate. The team deciding not to go through it quite yet. Oh, unleash the beast as Selena dash through. The second turtle of the game is up. It's going to be Bright taking it down. Aerotel being engaged upon here in the mid lane. Granger throwing out a couple of skills. It doesn't look like Saint Dynasty really want to go for the contest for this. Oh, there's the Abyssal Arrow, but somehow Lucas manages to avoid it, but not the engagement from the Granger. There's the Cursed Blood. The Shadow Kill did come out from the Hayabusa, just doesn't have quite enough damage just yet. Oh, it's Chip He's trying to get some amount of engagement going through. As Conqueror with the Abyssal Arrow gets the kill on the top lane, and it's a double kill for the Cyclops here in the mid lane. Make that a double kill there for the Selena as well. So that's 4-0 overall. And will we see the first turret of the game falling? Yes, we do indeed. It's the mid lane turret. Yes, Selena, not the best of basic attackers. Oh my goodness, Lucas comes in there and says, overextension you shall pay for. Stun onto the chip, unleash the beast from the Lucas, but the damage from the Cyclops just too hot to handle. Chip does pop the ultimate, Iridel goes in there, the full team is following through, but once more, this Valentina with the taunts, double kill going the way of Granger there. As Valentina will be hoping to take down yet another turret. The waves are coming through at this moment in time. Granger engaging in onto the Hayabusa. He's got that other stun from the Kamala on point. Managing to CC him up just as he was going in for that shadow kill. As we see yet another turret falling the way of Saint Dynasty. Mega kill for the Cyclops. We'll just get Cyclops build up here. It's gonna be that burst damage build. Got the concentrated armor, but Lucas, he has other ideas. He's into the mix. He gets a quick double. Wants to continue. Throws out the Unleash the Beast. There, Abyssal Arrow turns around. Unstoppable for the Cyclops. It is gonna be a few seconds for the third turtle of the game, but I don't think Saint Dynasty are gonna wait for the third or go for the third turtle. They probably want to go for the Lord. Valentina on the hunt for the Iridel. Chip is in position just to try to keep her safe. Chip stun onto the minion as Iridel pops the ultimate, wants to get the engage on here. The flicker comes through, the stolen ultimate, but Chip pops the ultimate as well. It's going to be a full team into the mix here. The dashes away from everybody, but Granger turns around, takes down the Hayabusa. Eudora jumps in there with the ultimate, manages to get a kill. Iridel, Lucas, and Chip trying to zone this frontline. Takanashi, he does have that concentrated energy. He's sustaining through so much. Gets the engage. Curse Blood onto 2. Abyssal Arrow lands. There's the follow-up. Selena with a double dash. Double kill. As it's time for the Lord.
So right now, Soul Society really doesn't have the damage to be able to deal with Saint Dynasty's sustainability. And Saint Dynasty also has enough anti-heal to fight against them, which does make things problematic for the side of Soul Society. What could they do in a case like this?
Alright, now it's just about being patient. They're being forced into fights that they shouldn't be in at this moment in time. They have the heroes to counter a lot of what's going on. The only thing that's really problematic is the Curse Blood from the Camilla, and it has been effective, I'm not going to lie, but not as effective as you would expect. It's going to come down to discipline. Soul Society have to be very patient here. They don't want to see like this. You're going to get the opportunities for pickup kills. Shadow kill comes out. Mimic is taken down. So that gives them the opportunity to defend the waves coming through. They need to use the Lucas and Chip to get the front line. The zoning gives some vision. Lucas is being engaged upon. Ultimate comes out from the Cyclops once more. Granger doing the zoning away. Eudora in a good camping spot. But the Lord pushing through. Oh, there's the engagement onto Iridel. Chip trying to keep her alive, but Chip is being melted down. Hayabusa doesn't have the shadow kill. The Lord in a battle here should be taken down as the shield explodes. So mid lane did take a slight bit of damage. As you can see, the traps from Selena just giving so much of vision for the side of Saint Dynasty. Very hard to try to get those pickups. Hayabusa shadow kill onto the Selena, manages to shut it down, but Selena gets the Abyssal strike onto the Eudora and gets the kill there. So it's a 1-for-1 exchange so far. One turret shield has been taken down. The mid lane is being pushed in here. Cyclops throws out the ultimate onto the Hayabusa, trying to get the damage. There's the follow-up stun in there. Chip trying to block the... Oh my goodness, just jumped straight back into a Death Sonata. This should be a tier 3 turret being taken down. This is looking a bit dangerous for the side of Soul Society. The shields are being melted here on the top and bot lane. As we see once more, Cyclops, he's just spamming that ultimate of his, getting the stuns off, waiting for the follow-ups from the team. Mid lane wave coming through. The waves aren't exactly synced up. Oh, they do it, managed to catch Astro on the Aerotel, and it's going to be Granger with yet another takedown. The mid lane Nexus has been exposed. Damage coming through from the Granger on point. Double kill for the Granger. There's the stolen Unleash the Beast. The battle continues. Granger is taken down by the real Unleash the Beast as Lola Bunny throws a skill out into the fountain and is just waiting there as the waves are coming through. This should be game set match. It is a full team wipe.
So it will be a 3-0 for the side of Saint Dynasty as we finish off this Nexus.
Yeah, so well played to Saint Dynasty, putting the screws on here in the lower bracket finals, taking it 3-0, making it all the way to the grand finals where they'll be taking on Madagascar in a best of 7, and that'll be taking place tomorrow night. But I would say well played to Soul Society, making it all the way to the lower bracket finals. No mean feat at all. Finishing off essentially third in this quite hotly contested competition, the African Conquest Cup. So they should feel a sense of pride getting to this late stage in the tournament, having beaten and played and knocked out some of the big teams as well. So finishing off third, not a bad thing at all. But Saint Dynasty just switching gears here in this lower bracket final, storming all the way to the grand finals. It's gonna be an absolute cracker of a game. Madagascar up against Saint Dynasty tomorrow night, best of 7, right here on Waylander Gaming. It's the African Conquest Cup. So, for those of you tuning in at home, it was a pleasure having you with us as always. If you haven't already, smash that like, share, and subscribe button. But, Lotus, do we have any further announcements to make?
No. Unless you want to tell them about the podcast.
Well, we'll see how that fares and what we're going to be launching in the future for the channel. We'll update everybody shortly as to what we're going to be doing and how things are going to work. But for this evening, for the African Conquerors Cup, or Conquest Cup shall I say, this brings the stream to a close, but does not bring the Mobile Legends actions to a close. We do have some other games on the Academy, Waylander Gaming Academy. So those games are taking place right now on our alternate stream. So if you want to continue watching the Mobile Legends action, you can switch across there. It's going to be Skarpskenkel and Oshroomzy leading us through the final 2 games in the Academy. But from myself, Waylander and Lotus, it's going to be goodbye and good night until we see you on the next stream. Peace out.